All right, so I'm gonna read this, and then I'm going to go to the comment that really annoyed the hell out of me. All right, so Brandy H. Sullivan says, "Are we ready to discuss older women preying on young boys and young men? We categorize these men as promiscuous and disloyal. Whole time they're chasing their innocence to regain control of their own sexuality. Too many men were exposed to sex as young boys and teenagers by grown women who were in college and beyond. That's not okay. And because so many have been raised by a single mother, they ended up by default feeling like they had to be the man of the house, especially if their mother treated him like a surrogate husband, relying on him for the emotional support that a man would give. And couldn't be so couldn't be honest about what happened to them. So they spent years trying to regain their sexual and autonomy, or they grew up without a mother in the home, which left them open to older women who would win their affection by fulfilling that mommy void. I get a little time today. I got a little time today, so we can chop it up. Men need to heal too, and many have been taken advantage of in this way and have been holding on to it for years." Okay, so she is absolutely correct when she says a lot of men have been exposed to sexuality at a very young age. Right? I'm not going to give personal testimony, although I could. Uh, and actually, I just want to mention that I made a video about it, but apparently I accidentally uploaded it to a whole nother channel by accident, and y'all never saw it. So, oh well. But I can say that men, because I there we all know that there's a difference that we go about men and women, or I mean young boys and young girls, for better and worse at times. But we only want to focus on it when it's one way. Don't get into it right now. But we can definitely go and talk about the porn issue, which is one of the things that I focused on in that video. You know, especially if you're like 13, where it's like, you hit puberty, so therefore it's totally logical and necessary for you to watch porn now, right? No actual education about sex in any way, whether it's what could happen or if it's something about self-control, so on and so forth. We know that that's kind of what goes on. Again, I'm not sure if that's just black people, but I do know what happens in at least the black, quote unquote, community. All right, so what really made me want to do this is this I'm gonna I'll come back and read the comments, but it's this one particular one that really bugged me, that bothered me. Where is it? Give me a second. Or maybe it's the previous comments. Oh, here it is. Okay. So Lucy Raphael, where's my pen? So Lucy Raphael, right here. She says, "Sis, question. Do you think it can also be the latter, these boys, men, preying on older women because of their mommy issues?" Yo. How? Do you see why it pissed me off now? The question was, are we ready to talk about the women, the older women who prey on young boys and take advantage of them because of their situation? Whether it's mommy not in the home or only a mommy in the home, one way or another, are we ready to talk about that? And then this chick responds with, "You think maybe it could be the other way around?" What? Ladies, would you ever allow a dude When y'all are having a conversation about younger women and older men illegally, remember, teenage. So if an older man was illegal with an illegal minor younger girl, if y'all were discussing that, would y'all ever acknowledge or entertain the question, hey, y'all think it could maybe be the other way around? Don't even like when dudes are 40 and they a legal 18-year-old. But now y'all will come up and ask this stupid ass question. And look, she's 50. At least. Does anybody want to call her out and investigate her? Because as far as I can see, nobody else even asked this or pointed this out. Nobody wants to call her a pedophile. Nobody wants to find out where she lives, where she works. Nobody wants to counsel her. But it's acceptable to ask this question when we're focused on something else. It's okay for her to come in and derail like that. And nobody will call this out. And then when I call, before I even get a chance, Brandy responds with, I wouldn't say prey on, but they can definitely seek it out because they're looking for a mother figure. Just as fathers, younger women and girls will seek out older men as a partner because they're really looking for a man who can fill their daddy void. So now that's how we're going to talk about that situation. Now we're going to say that that's what they're seeking out, without saying, and that dude's a piece of shit. We're not going to do this, right? Now we're focused on, oh, well, maybe that's what they're doing when they're talking about the boys being the victims. They just can't be outright victims, can they? Can they? Okay, so let's focus on Brandy's response. What do y'all say to the girls who end up with older men illegally, remember, teenage and then like dudes that are in college. So illegally, remember, what do y'all think about the situations where younger girls seek out men who are illegally older than them? What do y'all think about that situation? Or is the response, oh, what about the men? What do y'all want to say about that? Because I'm quite sure that this is not how y'all really respond to this. I'm quite sure. If we had started with the younger women, older women, this comment section will be filled with anger and finger pointing and, oh, that's the guy's a pedophile. We want to get rid of him. Where does he work? We need to watch out for him. We need to report him. So then I respond with, oh my God, really? Have you ever asked this if the teenage girl preyed on older men? The lady never responded herself. So maybe she, I don't know, figured out, or maybe she just isn't watching her phone, whatever. But so when I asked that, Brandy responded with, I wouldn't say prey on. When you're a younger person in the situation, you can't be the predator. That's why I said seek out and ultimately end up being taken advantage of, because many older men can see when a girl is looking for a daddy. And this spans teenage girls and young women, as well as young boys and young men. All right. You can see the rest of the response. Pause it, read it. I'm not going over that. Let's get to the other comments. I'm not sure what they did or what anybody said. So let's just see. Ari Marshall says, well, because it's glamorized as cougars. True. I've said that before. Cougars is not shamed. But anytime somebody catches Didi with a 19-year-old, oh my God, that's creepy. But cougar is just never called out. MILF, never called out. And it's so tragic, double standard. Elizabeth Rogers says, there are so many points in this topic. I don't know if people understand how hard trying to raise a boy when you have men and women saying that this is normal. She responds, woo, I can't, I don't have a pitch. I can't create a pitch at all. So that's my woo. That's as good as you're going to get. I could only imagine. I think about my future sons and how I would actually monitor this to ensure they are not falling prey to any of this. She responds with, I restrict. I don't allow too many people around my kids. But I'm also honest with them and allow them a glimpse of the adult world so they can understand things. We did have a situation with my son. He was helping his dad with the food deliveries, and an older woman answered the door in her underwear. When I found out, I had to go crazy for people to understand the double standards. Don't give my son a high five, but be ready to shoot a man if this happened to my daughter. All right, I can agree with that last sentence, but why did she answer the door in her underwear is the question. Is that something she just typically does because she's a person who feels like in her home, if you come into her door, she can just answer in her underwear? So I'm not sure if this was I see a young boy, therefore I'm going to answer in my underwear, or if it's the example I gave earlier. If it is the example I gave earlier, then I'm for anybody who wants to answer the door in their underwear. Their underwear, right? So again, if that's how it generally happened, then it is what it is. Miranda says, every man I encountered during my dating years lost his virginity, innocence to an older woman in the neighborhood. It is such a serious issue and needs to change. They each described the woman as the one who pursued them, showed them what to do and how they wanted to be pleased. It blew my mind to hear these stories. She says, same sis, that's when I knew it was a real issue. She responds, yes, for years I thought boys were just promiscuous and were taking the innocence of girls their own age. I was totally wrong. Grown women are out here targeting these boys, even on social media. I see women referring to toddlers and young boys as sexy. That shouldn't be taken lightly. Women are sexual predators too. Now, that part is very, very, very telling, right? Because I've pointed out before, I'm not sure if I did on here, but it is very okay to say that a toddler boy, but not a toddler, but like a boy that you can dress up, he can walk and stuff. Like there was a topic before that how women love to dress their boys up like apparently the dudes they find attractive and say he gonna be, a player or he gonna get a lot of women when he get older, blah blah blah. And it's just like it's okay for women to comment on boys that young like that. And I always wonder, and I ask people, yo, if this was a girl this age, and a father had put her in the bullshit that women he messes with dress like, will he be allowed to do that? Then say, yeah, all the dudes gonna be trying to wife her or try to get. I gotta watch. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be trying to get at her when I ain't looking. You know what I'm saying? Like, would that be okay? Would that be acceptable? What? That ain't the same person. That is not the same damn person. Whoa. Alright. Alright. I don't know why I don't like makeup. But hold on, let me go back to that one. Actually, I was going to go into a story, but I don't think I will. No. Maybe I'll make that a separate entire video by itself. Because it is a sad story about how I lost mine, but we'll save it. They're going to say it wasn't an entanglement. I'm glad this is a joke to you, man. I'm glad this is a joke to you. Next time a man gets caught in a situation, I'm just going to, it was an entanglement. I'm just going to joke about it. How about that? Adam Keeley. A lot of times what we miss out on is sex is so heavily influenced by power dynamics. In society, men are given the most power, which is why men are more typically sexual predators. But if you look in areas where women have power, teacher, student, wealthier, boss, and older or to younger, you see a lot of the same behaviors. So many of us are drawn to feel powerful or to take innocence, or even to just be memorable in someone else's life. It's sad. Okay, he had an okay point at the end, but I don't like the way he worded this up here, where he says, in society, men are given the most power. It should be men have to take or earn the most power, right? Now, granted, you can know somebody, and they put you in a position, right? But usually, for the most part, you have to either take or earn the power. So this idea, because when you say give it in this scenario, it sounds like it paints the picture of the typical, oh, men dominate society, therefore they work together to keep women down and so they can be predators. Like that's I have a problem with that wording for that reason. All right, moving on. Adriana, and this looks like the last one. Says, this is a thing. I actually know of a few men taken advantage of by older women, and then end up extremely promiscuous or a predator. And we wonder why it gets worse. The taboo subjects actually need to be talked about, because those who have experienced it need a safe space. And honestly, I am rooting for the healing of the kings, because they hold the seed for generations to come. That's I don't really know if I like that. It seemed like a lot of what right there. So I guess, but to end this, I want to say something that piggybacks off of one of the earlier comments. I think she said something about being taught about sex or something like that, but really, there is no actual sex education besides go out and get it. All right. And I know a lot of people lean on the, oh, you're just mad because you didn't get this and blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to sex, society really needs to take a long look at the way they go about it and teach it. Because the just how fun, and we all know that really just means go fuck a bunch of people. We all, that act, saying that and not giving any type of education to go along with it is part of the problems that we have. All right. That's part of the reasons we have so many unwanted kids. It's part of the reason the STD rate 2 years ago hit an all-time high. Don't know where it is now, but I know it was reported at an all-time high 2 years ago. That's a big part of the problem. That we tell both men and women, hey, just go do whatever it is you want. And then kind of wonder why people or society really doesn't know how to socialize with each other anymore. It's part of the reason. But that's right. And it be right, not that stupid chick from the first comment. Don't be Lucy. All right. I'm out.